What is up, guys? We are back for another casted game of Age of Empires 3. My name is Harrison, and we are here on the 1 vs 1 quick research ranked ladder, and we've found ourselves a big game. It is Tabben versus Revnak, spawning to the northwest of the map in the colour blue, playing as the Germans. It is Tabben, or his name today, Lucky Low. Opponent today, it's the number 1, top of the ladder, or I can't remember actually what the state of the ladder is, but certainly has 5 accounts up there. It is Revnak, playing as the British in the colour red. And his community name is House of Trading Post Community. You haven't seen it, check it out. If you like talking to Revnak, it is. If you don't like chatting to Revnak, it's probably not the place for you, but there is a lot of action there. I kind of see like the 3 big communities are Lion, House of Trading Post, and kind of like, I suppose ESOC like mops up the rest, but like it's more generalized. It's not really like a social platform, but that's where the kind of competitive action is. But kind of interesting to see how those platforms kind of develop in further times. But back to this game, a lot of people have been saying Brits are S tier. They are certainly exceptionally strong. I'm definitely of the opinion that they're up there. There's no reason to kind of disagree. I think Brits at the moment is a better civ overall than Germany. I think that Brits at the moment are kind of equivalent to French. I think French are a better civ than Germany at the moment overall. That's not specific matchups, but some people say that S tier just busted. Well, yeah, Brits are just busted. Some people say that they're strong, but they're not like oppressive. So we'll see how Revnak goes about this. I know that Revnak is a traditional Brit enjoyer. Get the manor houses, must cast pressure, forward building, forward base, get map control. Whereas you guys might have seen a more of a Lionheart's approach with the GMT, get TPs, get up to the 3rd age, get out those Highlanders and Falconets, which the Highlanders themselves are absolutely brokenly busted. They do need to be turned down. Self-healing in combat and range, to name the 2. Get to the 4th age, spam the shipments afterwards. But I don't think that's what we've seen here from Revnak. What I don't really know is how Tabben is going to play into this, specifically on this map. This is quite a low resource map. He has 2 mines in base, 2,000 coin. He does have Berbers in base as well, so has access to late game salt mines, which are probably a bit more efficient than estates, but again, infinite coin for 20 miners. Berber nomads. There's a hunt nearby, and then 2 hunts kind of on the flanks of his base further out, but essentially number of in-base resources to deal with what Brits wants to do is very low. So would it be barrack starts? Would it be a cav start? Would he try and jump to the 3rd age fast and defend like early aggression with like war wagon, skirm, micro, and just rely on the shipments? Will it be native play? Who knows? We do see Black Rider Jaeger support in the 3rd age. Kind of the most classic deck you will see. Has 3.5 Ulan in age 2, which I don't really expect we'll ever see get sent this game. Oh, maybe. I mean, having 10 age 2 cards is very nice when you're stuck in age 2. But in age 4, we don't have something like the 6 Settler Wagon, Lipnaza Cavalry. There's some big cards in the 4th age we're not having, but I don't think that's going to be a matter. I don't think that's going to play too much of a fact in this game. Germany aging up with 16 villagers. Hasn't clicked the Gangsaw, and Gangsaw's not being clicked at all. So he's kind of got his 800 food, went straight onto wood, which most of the time people age up with 17 vills. And Gangsaw usually gets researched as Germany because of this chopping process and transition. But Tabben's just going straight into 16 vill age up. Get enough wood for the place of mine TP. Gets the TP up ahead of the pass of experience points. That's really nice. That's got his next shipment. I don't think it was crucial for his next shipment, but it's very nice. It always feels good when you just get on it straight away. It's instantly paid off, that payment, and it's just always will continue to pay off a little bit faster now as a result. A lot of gold miners. Probably maybe Cav. Could be a top start, depending on what we see. We do see 2 forward villagers here from Revnak. Revnak aging up. 19 vills. How many houses has he got? 4. So he did a 15 vill age up. And then got some manor houses in transition. Outpost wagons across the map. Age up with the governor there. Barracks is coming down quite aggressive. You see how this barracks is directly putting pressure on Tabben's third hunt. The second is in base, can't really do anything about it, but the third one is it's just too risky for Tabben to push out. Explorer sees the outpost. Explorer's kind of hoping that the outpost will go right through the middle of the map. It has. He has seen the outpost. He's slowing us down. More put pressure. He sees two villagers. He moves around where the villagers are coming. Obviously, one villager is coming to build a manor house, and one has been produced from the manor house. But is there a building nearby? He needs to scout this area. It is. Maybe he's thinking, actually, the villagers haven't yet built the building, but now he sees the barracks. He understands what the assignment is. Probably could be a Musk opening here from Revnak, and the Uhlans are going for a raid elsewhere, trying to find villagers out on the map with the manor houses, with the herds in, and try and keep his Uhlans away. Problem is, you can't just stay H2 and spam Uhlans with Germany into an opponent with a forward base with barracks going pikes or musks, because you'll never trade, and you kind of your whole game plan relies on him pushing in and getting a catch with crossbows and minutemen. It's just too risky. Tabben going for 3 settler wagons. Has he got the wood? No, he's going gold, card number 2. Uhlans go down pretty cheaply there, unfortunately. More reinforcements coming in, another 5. So those Uhlans were picked off by the outpost earlier on, and then just a bit of town centre and trying to get the vills. Tabben moving in with normal stats, maybe defense stats could actually help pathing through these choke points and get the block. But Revnak's very keen to keep his vills in the town centre, nice and safe, and yeah, he has another 9 in there. Tabben does let's go for defensive stance on the way out. It sees the pikemen chasing him and thinking, I do not want any more action of this, I'm going to back out. Uhlans going for another raid. That's the cav from the 700 coin, straight into the outpost, and I think he's at this point realised that, oh, I can't go right through the middle, so he's just going to go around the outside. Pike's going to zone intercept. He knows that there's cav going home, but he thinks, Revnak thinks that, he doesn't know that, and he's just going to get duped. Pike's going back. Initial charging force. 11 pikes up the field. Explorer going to move over. We'll see. We'll see. Cut off the reinforcement behind. Maybe get the snare on. Nice XP. Uhlans on the top side. Looks for another Vill. Greatcoats is in though. And that villager is safe. There's quite a few Vills. Low HP. Another Vills in the trees. Away from the TC. But Revnak is straight on pulling the Vills into the TC. He's not going to try and be greedy with keeping Vills out as long as possible. Not going to try and punch the Uhlans down with the Vills like I would do and lose up 4 Vills. It's just not... He's not interested. And there's so many pikes running around. I'm surprised that... Even with all these pikes, he hasn't sieged the trading post. It looks like these pikes may be going there now, but it's kind of been very passive from both players. Both players not wanting to lose their position. 6 longbows now being sent forward from Revnak, suggesting he's staying H2. Another batch of pikes. There's now 20 pikes on the field. These Uhlans, which were raided, are getting caught and will get picked off. Have to be absolutely spot on moving around, and the Uhlans raiding gets punched down by the Vill. Blunderbuss. Blunderbuss has been researched here from Revnak, and that might be a useful thing. Occasionally I do try and Vill punch with Uhlans or villagers to kill raiding cavalry, but, you know, Blunderbuss very cheap, great coats, researched very quickly, very important. And another villager stays alive there from Revnak. I don't think he's actually lost a single Vill. Pike's here to defend, pushes this back, and yeah, we're talking about there could be another 9 Uhlans out on the field, ready in this third age to time with shipments of whatever to defend, but it's just been used to buy time, raid, but hasn't actually managed to pick off many Vills. You see quite a lot of damaged villagers, but all of them are looking rather healthy for the time being. Really good control. Ord House gets picked off by the pikemen, and this is interesting how Tabben's put all his buildings behind the front TC. I kind of like that. I think that's quite cool. And quite often I've been doing that with Dutch banks as well, putting the banks to the side, because quite often they are forward, and although it buys your TC time and buys you time, if you lose a 700 wood resource building, it's just near impossible to replace. You always feel so on the back foot. 3 Uhlans from the 8th Skirm shipment moving forward, looking for another raid, trying to buy time still. Skirms and a 4 batch of war wagon. He's not looking to engage longbows this early, though. That's the thing. And then the pikes are just moving back. And if he noticed it, all of those pikes were away from that forward base, maybe good opportunity to sneak in there for the attack. But this mass from Brits is actually growing, and I think Tabben will have another shipment before he pushes. We'll go for the 2 cards. You kind of go for a bit of a timing spike on it. He's training more Orlands, but hasn't really got a good way to upgrade these to veterans, so I'm not too sure what the grand plan here is from him. Card order, 2 center wagon, 3 center wagons, 700 gold, 8 skirms. 8 skirms now engaging with longbows, and yeah, good volley off. A couple longbows going down. They do some decent damage from the war wagons. You can see how he focuses the war wagon down. High rate of fire with multipliers versus war wagons. War wagons no range resist. It's just easy targeting, and the pikes are kind of just chilling there in cover mode, and the skirms can't really get onto the longbows. It's crazy how that small longbow engagement just killed 500 res worth of war wagons. Each war wagon is 300 resources, so when one goes down, one nearly dead, that's such an investment there, or such a return from that longbow mass. 9 plus 5, 9 plus 4, 9 plus 4 Orlands crossing the map. Age 2 though, so should be okay versus the Huss and the longbows, but don't really touch the Age 2 pikes. Pikes already got onto the skirmishers. Minutemen being caught, but I feel this is a fantastic engagement here for Revnak. It just splitting the Huss, zone off some of the Orlands at the top. The Orlands can't even get onto the longbows. There's so many pikes here to protect. Orlands moving in, Huss on the top. Minutemen get some good damage, focusing down the pikemen. Skirms have been broken away. Longbow still standing, and if these were veteran Orlan, man, if they were veteran Orlan, probably could have cut through the pikes and Huss, but there's still 3-4 Huss remaining. Longbows unattached, and the skirms now vulnerable. But shipments, XP has been generated. Another card's on the way. We've cleaned up Revnak's H2 army essentially, and we're going to start rebuilding again. 1 war wagon in production. 8 Orlands being sent across. No villagers have really gone down at the moment. TC got to pick off the remaining Huss, and yeah, at this point, Revnak was kind of, I think he was hoping for that, he was to crush that army, but he hasn't really done that. He's only got some remnants of an army remaining. He's now sending in Cav HP, which he's only got, well, 7 HP, but what would be a really good investment here for Tabben is to get those Orlands at some point. He's moving out onto his 3rd hunt on the defensive side. It'd be too risky to try and engage this. You can see how Revnak has this fully zoned off. I think he sees this. Yeah, he sees this hunt being taken. He's going to move his forces over here, but Tabben's not going to make this mistake. He's going to keep his army nearby the vills. He wants to make sure that they're still gathering, and as we turn off the fog of war, there are the 8 Orlands. There's 4 war wagons as well, and because he's got 4 really strong ranged war wagons, these can just one-tap these longbows. Not enough longbows to deal with this, and the war wagons is such a smart unit right now versus Brits. But the engagement diving in, he has just to run away, because even if these Orlands get caught by the Huss, there's just not enough war wagons to kind of work through the pikes, work through the Huss, and just, although there's quality here in the German army, he just hasn't got the mass. He kind of needs to wait. I don't know what he's waiting for, though, or what he can wait for. Another 4 Orlands being trained. That's more XP. He's getting quite a bit of wood. It looks like he is trying to go for the veteran Orlands. He hasn't got the Prince Chevalier's card in the 3rd age for the Dragoons, which cost food. That would have been a really nice card, actually, right now to kind of spend that coin on. Yes, and here comes Vertlands. Blunderbuss coming in to buff the Vills, and Gangsaw. Surprised Gangsaw now, but I guess he has some sort of wood income for housing. Yeah, all the vills now going to the coin, but this is next time he will need to push and fight for it. Vertland's nearly in. War wagons. He's just nearly got enough XP for another shipment, likely to be the 3 war wagons plus 3 Orlands. That will give him nice mess. Nice raid here. But I'm worried he's going to get caught out here. This is the entire army of Tabben. He's up against the cliffs. He has to get away. The hussars here from Brits going to dive straight in. War wagons are trying to kite this and trying to pick off chasing army. And I'm surprised Revnak let him get away there. There was an opportunity to pin him against the cliff and take the fight and crush and win the game. But no, Tabben's going back, he's getting reinforcements, he's getting more XP. That's going to be another German shipment. We know how powerful the German shipments are with the base shipment plus 3 Uhlans. He's going for the 3+3. Could have gone for Cav combat with the 3 Uhlans as well, but actually, I think he needs the war wagons. He's still training more Uhlans, he's now sending skirms behind this to deal with the pikes. Probably the better decision there, but yeah, I don't think he needs any more. I don't think he needs any more Uhlans. There's a decent amount of musks and pikes, and that's what he needs to work on, is actually focusing these heavy infantry down before he can just kind of slam in with that heavy cavalry himself. We'll have to find out, though. Uhlans being trained, they are going to be sent to the top. Hausen will buy a bit of time. There's no Minutemen. I don't think he really wants to send in a villager pool. But if he does, actually, if he sends a full villager pool and engages, what are the pikes going to do versus villager? They do 8 attack. It's very, very low. Shipment comes in. It will take time for skirms to get to the front line, though. So, yeah, again, Tabben's thinking that he really wants to make this opportunity count, but he just hasn't got the army in the right place at the time. Pathing around. It's quite an open actual area for this fight. So, be actually pretty good here from Germany. Okay, he's going to go in. There's the Uhlans that are going in. War wagons down to micro round. Skirms have just joined the fight now. A lot of pikemen on the back. They haven't really found their targets. They don't really know where they want to engage. Looking at the skirms, he's kind of clicking through the pikes. I'm seeing quite a few +8s going down. That veteran Ulan line at the front is doing good work, but the pikes are now mixed in with the longbow and hussars. And unless you focus down the pikemen, your Uhlans are getting picked off by the pikes, and that became a horrendous fight in the end. Brit's army still standing, 3-unit composition, working really well behind. Look at that, still 20 pikemen. There are still 20 pikemen in that group, and Revnak takes the game versus Tabben. I think the matchup's Brit favoured. I think the map is also very Brit favoured here. I think Tabben's will be a bit frustrated with that one, but you got to say this play with Revnak to go into pikes heavy there was really smart of him from that position. Villager population. Just look at this. The Cav open start here from Tabben to get raids onto Revnak's villagers, but not a single vill went down in the critical period of the game. Maybe a little bit of idle time, trying to get unit batches out, trying to micro around, but no villager going down, or if one went down, was replaced very quickly with a manor house. So it's not really appearing on the stats here. A couple later on in the game, but at this point doesn't really matter. Resources gathered will be Brit favoured. Close with Crate Eco, but as the game goes on, the lines are diverging. The Brit Eco is incredible at that point. Of course, he's fighting with weaker units because he's an age 2. But if you look at the military unit population, managing to mass quite nicely, not taking any losses. And I think that's what it is from this game. I'll take away was the cav rating from Tabben. Although it was some decent raiding, it was the fact that Revnak was able to defend without losing a military unit or a civilian unit. Just basically, pikemen, as soon as they catch an Ulan, kills the cav, and also just getting the vills into the TC, letting the buildings take down these low HP cavalry quite quickly. When the first fight in Age 3 happened, Tabben lost all units and had to rebuild from 0, and it was a trade. And when you have a trade at this point, equal populations, but you have more economy, you can bounce back quicker, and that's what happens. Tabben had a couple military shipments to help him bounce back, but Revnak was, a couple crates, couple of upgrades, came back in, and the next fight, also very, very, very good engagement trade. More population, but the pikes working their magic versus a mainly Ulan war wagon composition there. So there's how the game ended. GG's. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next casted video. See you later.